Good evening and welcome to the NewsHour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas G. Viewers, after disruption, day and 3 adjournments, the Lok Sabha finally began debating Operation Sindoor. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh launched the government's charge, marking the opening of the marathon debate. He spoke strongly against opposition's criticism as he outlined India's strategic victory. Countering Congress party's surrender narrative, the Defence Minister also reiterated that Operation Sindoor was not ended under pressure but was a pause by design upon fulfilling the politico-military objectives. Hitting back at the opposition, Rajnath Singh also asked why don't they ask questions about enemy casualties? Why do they keep asking questions about Indian losses? Now, this was followed up by the External Affairs Minister, who made it clear that there was no conversation about trade whatsoever with the United States during Operation Sindoor. Further, Dr. Jaishankar also made it clear that there wasn't even a phone call between US President and Prime Minister from the day of the Pahalgam attack all the way up to the 17th of June, more than a month after Operation Sindoor began. The Home Minister soon made an intervention in the House as well, where he accused opposition of parroting foreign fakery and putting their faith in a foreign leader and not one who took oath as per the Indian Constitution. Amit Shah says that this is exactly why the opposition will remain there for the next 20 years. Listen in.
कभी-कभी हमारे प्रतिपक्ष के लोग ये पूछते रहे हैं कि हमारे कितने बीमार हैं। मुझे लगता है उनका यह प्रश्न हमारी राष्ट्रीय जनभावनाओं का सही से प्रतिनिधित्व नहीं कर रहा है। मुझे लगता है उन्होंने एक बार भी हमसे यह नहीं पूछा कि हमारी सेनाओं ने दुश्मन के कितने विमान मारे इराक।
Now I want to make two things very clear, sir. One, at no stage in any conversation with the United States was there any linkage with trade and what was going on. Secondly, there was, please listen. Secondly, there was no call between the Prime Minister and President Trump from the 22nd of April when President Trump called up to convey his sympathy, and the 17th of June when he called up Prime Minister in Canada to explain why he could not meet.
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मेरी एक बात की आपत्ति है, भारत देश का शपथ लिया हुआ विदेश मंत्री यहां स्टेटमेंट कर रहा है, उस पर भरोसा नहीं है, उनको किसी और देश पर भरोसा है। मैं समझ सकता हूं उनकी पार्टी में विदेश का महत्व क्या है, मगर इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है पार्टी की सारी चीजें यहां सदन में आकर थोपे। भारत के विदेश मंत्री पर भरोसा नहीं करोगे? ओथ लिया हुआ व्यक्ति यहां पर बोल रहा है, ही इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, इसीलिए ये वहां बैठे हैं और 20 साल तक वहीं बैठने वाले हैं।
Even though the government's message is clear that Operation Sindoor was precise, powerful and purposeful and that India still holds the upper hand against Pakistan, Congress questioned the centre over intelligence failure, the whereabouts of Pahalgam terrorists and Rafale jets. Then there were even others who went on to suggest bizarre ways to take on Donald Trump and his fakery.
वे 26 लोग जो जिनके परिवारों में आज कोई गुजर गया, वे ये भी जानना चाहता है कि 100 दिन गुजर गए और वे 5 दहशतगर्दियों को ये सरकार पकड़ नहीं पाई। आज हमें स्पष्ट रूप से आदरणीय राजनाथ सिंह जी बताएं, देश पर विश्वास करें, देश में वो साहस है सच्चाई सुनने की। आज आप बताएं कितने लड़ाकू जहाज गिरे।
और मैं आपसे भी कहना चाहता हूं, आपको भी रास्ता चुनना होगा, या तो आंख दिखाओ या हाथ मिलाओ, या तो बातचीत करके अमेरिका से संबंध सुधारो और डोनाल्ड को चुप कराओ, डोनाल्ड का मुंह बंद कराओ, नहीं तो हिंदुस्तान में मैकडोनाल्ड को बंद कराओ। अमेरिका को अधिकार नहीं है, दोनों घोड़ों पे सवार होकर चलने का अधिकार नहीं है।
क्रोध इस सरकार पर जो आज तक पहलगाम के आतंकी हमलावरों को न पकड़ पाई है और न ही उनकी कुछ सुराग ढूंढ पाई है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर नाम सुनने में देशभक्ति का लगता है, लेकिन असल में ये सिर्फ मीडिया पर किया सरकार का एक तमाशा था। कोई नहीं बता रहा है कि इस ऑपरेशन में हासिल क्या हुआ।
All right, then breaking news coming in while in fact, all right, this is the information coming in. Congress member of parliament amongst those who were supposed to speak in the House, in fact, while we had seen members such as Imran Masood questioning the timing of the entire operation, we now are looking at Manish Tiwari, who wanted to participate in this debate but was denied permission to speak. That's the update coming in at this point of time. Let's quickly take this across to Pragya, who's joining us. Pragya, after Tharoor, it's now Manish Tiwari. Why was he not allowed to participate? What are your sources telling you?
So what my sources have told me is that Mr. Manish Tiwari had apparently sent an email to Mr. Gogoi saying that, I also want to participate in this debate and please give me a chance. Manish Tiwari was not given any chance. And in fact, Manish Tiwari and Shashi Tharoor had been on target of Congress leadership ever since they had come back from this delegation. They have been praising government policies, in fact, when they went abroad. But this was also the brief to them. In fact, when you go abroad, you will always speak about your government perspective and not about others. So he was not given a chance. In fact, Mr. Tharoor, initially said that he was also not approached. In fact, later Congress said that we had approached Mr. Tharoor, but Mr. Tharoor also said that, a night before he was asked, and in fact there was not ample time. But in fact, we also understood that Speaker, if given a chance, may invite Mr. Tharoor, because he went to the US, headed a very big delegation there, may invite Mr. Tharoor to speak on this. But we are given to understand that tomorrow, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and KC Venugopal.
Thanks so much for joining us with that quick update. Of course, it's going to be a late evening today because the debate is going to stretch up until midnight. But we will, of course, also bring you quicker updates as far as this is happening. In fact, to get you more on what was happening inside the parliament, where the debate was going on, outside, 3 terrorists were neutralized in the upper reaches of Dachigam area of Srinagar earlier today. The 3 terrorists have been killed as part of Operation Mahadev, which is underway since 7:30 in the morning. At least one of the terrorists who've been killed is suspected to be linked with a Pahalgam terror attack. Now, this is an attack, of course, in which 26 civilians were killed, which was, of course, later followed up by Operation Sindoor. Now, top Lashkar commander Sulemani Shah, who allegedly hatched the Pahalgam conspiracy and executed the terror attack, is also learned to have been killed in the operation.
Pahalgam butchers were not too far away from Pahalgam. They were hiding in Dachigam, which is very close to the main city of Srinagar. They were hiding in the forest area of Dachigam when security operatives got to know about their information, them hiding in this location. On 18th, this massive operation was launched by security forces. Later to that, on Monday morning, their location was tracked down and finally they have been eliminated. The main person was Musa, who was trained in Pakistan, and he was a part of multiple attacks which have been carried out at several other locations here in the valley. What is very alarming is this location, the encounter location, being very close to the main city of Srinagar. As we zoom in, as the sun is setting down, you can see the blinking light from this Srinagar valley, which is clearly establishing that another tragedy has been averted. Initially, the Jammu and Kashmir police released the sketch of Hasim Musa, Ali Baba, Adil Hussain Thokar, but NIA later on arrested Parvez as well as Bashir, the 3 terrorists who have been killed by the security forces.
Meanwhile, Congress's Member of Parliament Imran Masood has questioned the timing of the entire operation. He asked, how could the government identify and kill Pahalgam terrorists within an hour of the beginning of Operation Sindoor debate in Parliament?
आज ही तो सवाल उठाए, आज ही मार दिया. इतनी तेज चल रहा है तो पीओके पे कब्जा कर लिए होते ना. ये काम तो पीओके पे कब्जा करके समझ में आता कि पीओके पे कब्जा होता हमारा. गौरव जी ने, राजनाथ सिंह जी ने बयान दिया था पार्लियामेंट में. राजनाथ सिंह जी ने 1 घंटे के भाषण के अंदर एक भी बार ये नहीं बता पाए कि पहलगाम के आतंकी को क्या था, और गौरव गोगोई साहब ने उसके ऊपर सवाल खड़ा किया और 1 ही घंटे के अंदर सारा का सारा काम. वाह, जो जयंत पांडा साहब ने कहा पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, तो इतनी तेजी के साथ कैसे आइडेंटिफाई भी हुए और पता भी चल गया, और आपने पार्लियामेंट में 1 मिनट में बता भी दिया. मैं तो ये पूछ रहा हूँ.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let me introduce our panelists joining us this evening. We have Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Deepak Reddy is National Spokesperson of the TDP. Sushant Sareen is Senior Fellow of ORF joining us. Also with us is Major General Dhruv Katoch, who's the Director of the India Foundation. Joining us also is T.S. Singh, former Deputy CM of Chhattisgarh. Ashwini Kumar Mishra is Leader of the Congress Party. We have Tauseefur Rahman, Spokesperson of TMC, and Salem Dhanidharan, DMK's National Spokesperson, is also with us on the program. Let me start with you first. Mr. T.S. Singh, some of the questions that are asked, and while nobody is taking away from the right of the opposition to question the government or intelligence failure and what have you, but the questions that some leaders are posing appear to be quite strange. For instance, you have, Praniti Shinde, who calls all of this Operation Sindoor a tamasha. Now, is this the language that one would want, to be used in a serious parliamentary debate on Operation Sindoor? Of course, accountability has to be fixed, but the kind of questions that are asked also are bound to, raise some amount of criticism. You have Imran Masood questioning why this encounter took place when the debate was happening in Parliament, for instance. Mr. Deo.
Good evening. Good evening to all the panelists and good evening to all your viewers. For one, I am not a spokesperson of the Congress Party. I was asked to join. I did not know it was a panel discussion. But since I have joined, I am seeing the entire unfortunate incident of Pahalgam in three parts. One, the incident itself, where undoubtedly there were major lapses, which led to the killing of 26 persons. They were asked their religion and they were eliminated. They were killed in cold blood, dastardly. Second was the response of the government and the armed forces, which was Operation Sindoor. We have learnt through the media and other sources that the armed forces were able to inflict a fair amount of damage on the Pakistani side. They were able to take out installations, etc. They were able to target precisely training camps, and those were damaged, those were taken out. And the third part is when the ceasefire and how the ceasefire came to be announced, and this most unfortunate reputation by the President of America, more than 25 times probably, one has lost count, that he was instrumental, or America was instrumental, and then matters of trade, etc. being dragged in. So as far as the first part is concerned, there is little to say, and there is little doubt that there was failure on the part of the local government. The governor, apparently Lieutenant Governor, is in charge of the forces there, the police, etc. The not the armed forces, but the CRPF or the other forces which would be there. And how were people allowed to go if the government was not opening those areas for people to have gone? So there is little to say. There definitely is a lapse, and we should look into it.
I'm going to answer, Mr. Deo, for, I mean, these all three are questions that we'll be debating on the show. Sure. But I want to ask you about the last point. Mr. Jaishankar has made a statement. I hope you've heard that statement. Even Mr. Rajnath Singh spoke about how there was no pressure externally. It is a decision that was taken domestically, and this question of linking trade or any other aspect, and even any conversation, for instance, between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi did not happen until a month after Operation Sindoor began. So, are you going to take the statements of President Trump at face value or that of our ministers?
I have not in my lifetime come across such a situation where the government of India or its representatives through probably the Ministry of External Affairs are saying one thing, and the president of another country or the leader of another country is repeatedly saying anything. And I would want and I would expect our Prime Minister to come forward and put a stop to this.
Okay.
It should be Prime Minister, Prime Minister. President, Prime Minister, the head of the two countries, our Prime Minister, I would expect him to come and say there was no such thing and put a stop to that. As far as, this narrative and counter-narrative that I did this and we did that and there was...
Well, sir, you're a seasoned politician, you know how diplomacy works. There was a call and the details were made public. It was the Ministry of External Affairs that made it public then. The External Affairs Minister has spoken in the House now. But let me get in the BJP on this. Sanju Verma, your response? The Prime Minister should come and set the record straight because there are many doubts that still persist. Your response to Mr. Deo?
Tomorrow, both the Prime Minister and the Union Home Minister will be speaking on the floor of the Parliament. Be that as it may, in a rebuttal to the opposition, let me say a few things. This is the same Congress party, be it DMK or TMC, they shout from every available rooftop, "Hum to apni sena ke saath khade hain. We stand in solidarity with our armed forces." And then they doubt the statement made by Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai of the DGMO. They doubt what Vice Admiral A.N. Pramod of the DGMO said. They doubt what Air Marshal A.K. Bharti of the DGMO said. What did these three gentlemen of the DGMO say? They categorically refused to comment on any losses. But Rajnath Singh today went 5 notches higher and very categorically, in no uncertain terms, said, हमारी सेना को कोई क्षति नहीं हुई है. भारत की किसी चीज को कोई क्षति नहीं पहुंची है. हमारी सीमा पर हमारे सैन्य बल को कोई क्षति नहीं पहुंची है. To translate it in simple layman's English, it means none of our military assets were touched or destroyed. Simple. The problem with the Congress is that they keep shifting goalposts. Till 48 hours back, they said, अरे वो जो पहलगाम के आतंकवादी थे, उनको तो आपने न्यूट्रलाइज नहीं किया. Now that we know, we had a highly successful Operation Mahadev, whereby we eliminated Sulemani, as in Hasim Musa, the supposed mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack. They say, hua to hua. And let me also say one other very important thing. Gaurav Gogoi, just 20 seconds, Madhav. Gaurav Gogoi said, POK ab nahi lenge to kab lenge? I want to ask Gaurav Gogoi, POK किसकी देन है, किसका क्रिएशन है? पंडित नेहरू का. 1971 war you want to give credit to Indira Gandhi, but Operation Sindoor you don't want to give credit to Narendra Modi. You said Narendra Modi का तो कोई योगदान ही नहीं था. And POK has been allotted 24 seats of the delimitation exercise by the BJP.
It was there earlier also. Sanju Verma, just to clarify on the terrorists who have been neutralized, we are waiting official confirmation. There's yet to an official statement yet to come from the army side. So we'll wait for that, and perhaps that will come out tomorrow. We are told there could be a press conference tomorrow. But just to clarify, some of these questions are quite bizarre. Ashwini, I want you to also come in on this. You have Gaurav Gogoi not just making the statements that Sanju just referred to, but he's saying all sorts of bizarre things, saying that jets were not allowed to go near Pakistan. Why did they have to shoot from far away? I mean, one can be critical, and everyone has every right to their opinion. But what kind of criticism and the quality of debate is certainly going to come under the scanner?
Madhav, we are expecting 3 things from government: empathy, accountability and integrity. Empathy and not sympathy. When terrorist attack happened in Pahalgam, we were expecting our Prime Minister to visit Pahalgam first rather than join a Bihar rally. However, he did not choose to go there. Accountability on why those terrorists came on the first place, how 2,000 people in a valley can be there without any security. What happened to those terrorists after the attack? And moreover, when we did the Operation Sindoor, we were very sure that
did Dr. Manmohan Singh go to Taj Hotel or Oberoi Hotel or tried it?
I'll let me answer Madhav that.
So
I'll answer 2611. I'll answer about 2611.
Keep the same yardstick is my only point.
Yes. So during 2611, our Home Minister took the accountability and resigned. I expect Amit Shah to also resign on Operation Sindoor. I will be very happy if you really compare apple to apple. Now, I was talking about accountability. The worst part that when we knew that when we did the Operation Sindoor, Pakistan didn't retaliate. We still did not secure the border area, and a lot of people, more than 20 Kashmiris died in the retaliation firing of Pakistan. Who is accountable for those deaths? Is government not accountable for those deaths? Thus, the integrity part we are talking about. We as a sovereign country cannot be insulted by another president of United States of America. That too when we have so much jolly relation, गलबगियां कर रहे थे हम, आपकी बात ट्रम्प सरकार चिल्ला रहे थे और क्या क्या नहीं किया हमने. And on top of that, when he insult our country, we expect our Prime Minister to not be the
Just
mute
to clarify,
on the matter.
you would also recollect that the reason Mr. Shivraj Patil resigned was because he was busy changing his clothes about 4 times a day or 3 times a day, whatever it was, more than anything else, and rather than being involved in his job. But nevertheless, Sushant Sareen, is there a comparison to be made between 2008 and what has happened in Pahalgam?
No, I think there is a comparison to be made. In 2008, we refused to act against terrorism, which was imposed on us. Yes, we played the victim before the world. We earned diplomatic brownie points. But did we hit the terrorists and their masters who are in the Pakistan army and the Pakistan government the way we should have? We had a reason to fight against Pakistan at that point of time also. And we botched it up. So much so that, and this is documented accounts, I'm not making it up, that the then Prime Minister met some visiting American congressmen and told them that now you are going to go to Pakistan, so you please ask the Pakistanis that if we launch an attack on Pakistan, the Pakistanis will not retaliate to that attack. So we were seeking permission from both America as well as Pakistan to attack Pakistan. And then we decided we are not going to do it. Okay. Now, this is 2008. I think it is very clear, Op Sindoor and earlier also. But I think Op Sindoor has taken it to the next level, that now India is not going to take a terror attack against Indian citizens lying down. There will be retaliation, and there will be very, very strong retaliation. And we are ready to go up the escalation ladder. We are not giving in to Pakistan's nuclear blackmail, something which not only Dr. Manmohan Singh, but even before him, even Mr. Vajpayee had given into. Both during Kargil as well as during Op Parakram, Mr. Vajpayee was very, very afraid of this nuclear factor and did not want to escalate beyond a point. I think that fear or that nuclear blackmail factor has been thrown out of the window. And that is one of the great strategic changes that has come about. This is one part of it. The other part is, I am a little bemused by Mr. Singh saying that, you know, he is, and I agree with him, that it's a strange situation where the president of one country is saying something and the government of another country is pushing back against him. But my question to Mr. Singh is that, sir, have you seen a president like Donald Trump in the past? Somebody like him who is more than ready to push away his closest friends and allies of his country simply because he wants to impose more tariffs and, you know, for trade and other reasons. How many times have you seen people like him handling a country like the United States or any other great power? So that's the second thing. The third thing is this, you know, this very puerile thing which somebody like Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, I believe, said that, you know, why didn't our aircraft go into Pakistan? Yeah, come on. This is the age of missiles. This is the age of BVRs, beyond visual range aircraft. This is the age of technology. You are not necessarily, it's no longer necessary for you to fly over and use World War II tactics to go and attack another country. Absolutely. If you can do it 200 miles away, why should you not do it from 200 miles away?
Absolutely. I'm putting up.
The war is that the guy who can fire the longest always wins a conflict. So quite clearly, you know, I really wish that Indian parliamentarians and political leaders were to inform themselves better.
All right. Sushant, three very important points, but since you've taken Mr. Singh's name, Mr. T.S. Singhdev, would you like to respond? Because you may have seen, and this is unprecedented and perhaps rightly so, that a leader of one country is saying something and the leader of our countries are saying something else. But this is also President Trump, someone who we've never seen the likes of in the past, in the US or even as far as any other country is concerned. Your response to Sushant Sareen?
I have no, he would also probably pardon me, no liking for Mr. Trump. The way he functions particularly, not in an individual way, I don't know him as an individual, but the way he functions as the President of America, he's not my cup of tea. Yet, the only point I made was that if a head of a country and a the strongest country in the world, apparently or supposedly the strongest country in the world, is making a statement again and again and again, which goes against the respect for our own country, Bharat, Hindustan, India, then our Prime Minister must, I feel.
All right, you made that point earlier and Sanju has responded. Deepak, I want Deepak to come in on this. Deepak, this is a question of India's image internationally, and that's why it is for our government and our Prime Minister to intervene and respond. That's the statement that Mr. Deo is sticking to. Your response? Deepak Reddy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Madhav, sorry, I couldn't hear you then. Madhav, before coming to what you just asked, let me tell you that, you know, the guys, the three terrorists who killed our innocent civilians, they ran, and our soldiers have hunted them down and killed them like stray dogs. This is a statement I would like to start off with. Madhav, one more thing. Some of these guys are brainwashed to an extent that they'll be going to Jaishankar. From now on, we should make it a standard operating procedure that we need to block that option for them and burn these bodies in pig fat. I think we should make that a standard operating procedure.
No. Deepak, let's be serious, please. I'm requesting you, let's not make statements which can be, you know, be perceived as being very insensitive. The point is that nobody has any love lost for any terrorists. We just are waiting for the official version to come in, Deepak. Please respond to the political debate that we've been seeing inside the House. Yes.
But you know, I mean, the only reason I made this statement is that, you know, we have to talk to them in their own language. Anyway, let me jump. Now come to the Trump's statement. Why is Congress so infatuated and continuously talking about Trump's statement is a question what I have to ask. Because during the Congress time, America didn't care much about India, but now Trump talks about India and America cares about India. I think probably that's something what the Congress is not able to handle, and that's the reason they're going on and on and on about Trump's statement, which is not so important as far as our national interest is concerned. But what's important here, Madhav, starting from Robert Vadra's statements to Chidambaram's statements today, I mean, they are not in the larger interest of our nation. They are talking in the language of Pakistan. And today you can see the newspapers in Pakistan where the Congress leaders' statements are covered on their front page, and they're like a big hit. Why is this happening is a question what every one of us has to ask, because being a politician, you are always sensitive to what people might perceive. In spite of they being such a hit in Pakistan, which is our enemy country, they're still going on and on with their attitude. Now, this is something what I would like to further.
Okay.
Probably Rahul Gandhi. One last statement. Rahul Gandhi has figured out that there is no way he can win in India, and he's probably preparing a political base to shift to Pakistan.
Okay, Ashwini, quick response before I move on to others.
I don't understand what kind of narrative you are trying to build here. We are, as Indian as you are, stop questioning our integrity. Rather, we are the one who shed the blood for the freedom, unlike writing Maafi-namas to all those ideological people. So let me not get into that. Don't teach us the patriotism, okay? No, we are very much patriotic. If we ask a question for social national integrity, is that Pakistan narrative? You can color us with anything, but don't
Mr. Chidambaram is saying,
that.
Once again, Ashwini, let me just comment. What Mr. Chidambaram has said today, you saw Mr. Rijiju say that is now pandering to Pakistan propaganda. If you're going to question that where were these terrorists from, there's no proof that they're linked to Pakistan, that's going to benefit Pakistan, is it not?
Madhav, that was a very misquote. So what we are telling is that when...
What was the misquote? Tell me.
I'll explain you. How do we expose Pakistan on the world stage if we don't have enough proof that these terrorists are from Pakistan? We have to tell the world also that these are the proofs.
Sir, what was the misquote in Mr. Chidambaram's statement?
So what is asking is,
where is it misquoted? Tell us that.
Do we have enough proofs? If yes, show it to the world stage. Why no one is denouncing the Pakistan?
Sir, do you have any doubt about the kind of terrorism that Pakistan has been inflicting to India over the last 40 years, Ashwini?
No.
Is that in doubt for you?
No, I don't.
Then why are we sitting and demanding proof after proof after proof?
Madhav, that is exactly my question. BJP is almost giving clean sheet to Pakistan.
How are you giving clean sheet to Pakistan?
I'll explain you how. When Donald Trump or American government recognize one terrorist outfit as a terrorist outfit. We are so happy. In the same time, he's inviting their defense chief for the lunch. Now we ourselves assuming that both statements are okay. Pakistan state players are not involved in this terrorist activity. That is the biggest stand we have been taking.
Diplomacy doesn't work like that. Countries can have relations with different countries who are at war or at least are not at odds with each other. Let me quickly, and in fact, biryani diplomacy is very well associated with the Congress party also, we all recollect. But Sanju Verma, quick response and I go across to Tausif and Salem.
Madhav, my limited point is this, that, when we won the T20 ICC World Cup last year, all people remember is India defeated South Africa. No one even remembers that Virat Kohli was the man of the match, getting 76 runs off 59 balls. And Rajnath Singh made that point today, saying that the end result matters. And the fact of the matter is that in 2016, via the surgical strike, we crossed the LOC. Via the Balakot strike of 2019, we crossed the international border. But via Operation Sindoor, for the first time in post-independent India, we not only crossed the LOC and the international border, but we struck at the heart of Rawalpindi. We went deep inside eastern Punjab of Pakistan. We destroyed their Rahim Air Khan base, the Noor Khan base. We went to Sargoda, Skaru, Bholari, Murid, Sialkot, Pasroor, Chuniyan, Jacobabad. But Rahul Gandhi ne to army ki ek baar tarif nahi ki. Did you notice one thing, Madhav? Just 5 seconds more. When Rajnath Singh today said, let us congratulate our armed forces by thumping on our desks, Rahul Gandhi was sitting like this. जैसे कोई साहब बैठा होता है, lazy, lackadaisical, I dare.
Ashwini, quick response. Ashwini, go across to others.
I don't understand.
Quick response.
Right after Operation Sindoor, Rahul Gandhi ji and the entire opposition stand with government. They applauded the government. They applauded the armed forces. We started questioning you when some third-party intervention happened, and we did the ceasefire. That question is still stand, and you have not been able to answer that question.
All right. Let me bring in others now. Tausif. Yeah. Tausif, I want you to come in on this. It's a time when, Rajnath Singh has come out to say that you have opposition parties who are concerned more with what India lost and what Pakistan suffered. And the statements today are going to prove that once again. That's the sort of line that the government has taken. But it is extremely bizarre to have a senior leader of the TMC, Mr. Kalyan Banerjee, come out and use Pakistani terminology. Azad Kashmir, is this what we expect a parliamentarian to be speaking here in India? And that too after Operation Sindoor.
Right, Madhav. Good evening to everyone, and thank you for allowing me to speak. Madhav, right now the situation with BJP is, Christiani Bindi Khambanaj. Madhav, tell me something. Who did the bootlicking of Trump all this while? I'm not asking you, but I'm asking the BJP and my people from India. People from BJP did Havan and direct and indirect campaign for Trump. Will you deny that? I mean, everyone has seen that India has the people of BJP. From the BJP, they used to do Havan for Trump, indirectly, directly, whatsoever. Now tell me, Madhav, see, the people of India has not sent their MPs in the parliament to ask the PM, aap aam kaat kar khate ho, choose kar khate ho. The ruling party looks angry and upset from the opposition. But this anger should be shown to Trump, where he took all the credit and made us look like a kid from Montessori, Madhav. How do you want us to believe and the people of India to believe what happened in Pakistan in the war? Where was our media was traveling on a missile going to Karachi and Lahore, and no one condemned it, Madhav. Yes, we will ask questions inside and outside the parliament. If anything, if you're honest and honest with the country, you should answer us 365 days, 24/7, because this is the reason you went to the parliament and not for your foreign trips, Madhav. Under whose leadership and surveillance the people entering from Bangladesh and Pakistan? Amit Shah. In Pahalgam, 26 people died, Madhav. It took 3 months to find one of the terrorists. अगर आज ये पूछताछ नहीं होगा, तो ये महादेव ऑपरेशन.
Firstly, you've not answered my question on using phraseology like Azad Kashmir. You've not answered that question. You have sidestepped that. Number one. Number two, by your logic, when 2008 terror attacks were happening, where is the Pakistan foreign minister? He was engaged in talks in India. So that logic, the same UPA government will also have to answer to.
Madhav, the chronology of BJP, even you know very well that they don't believe in the past. They will say, "Kyun hua, nahi hua, wo nahi pata. Abhi kyun hua, ye bataiye." So I'm asking the BJP right now that why this Pahalgam thing happened. I mean, Abhishek Banerjee correctly pointed out. I mean, if you see how many countries have named and shamed Pakistan after the Pahalgam terrorist attack, instead he conflated a generic condemnation of cross-border terrorism. as the terrorist reviews of Pakistan. But how does that logic hold, Madhav?
I think Mr. Jaishankar listed a whole set of countries, but nevertheless. Sanju Verma, quick response.
Thank you. Madhav, let me make one thing very clear. I will not allow your platform, which is a very important one, to be made a mockery of. Today, the most important point is this. Union Home Minister, Prime Minister, Union Defence Minister, External Affairs Minister, DGMO, everybody has said there were no losses on our side, but opposition refuses to take cognizance of what the government has to offer by way of categorical explanations. And I, through your channel, want to say that why are we not discussing Pranati Shinde, the daughter of ex-Home Minister of India and the daughter of ex-Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Sushil Kumar Shinde, who by the way had coined the word Sassan terror. Today she says Operation Sindoor is a media-made tamasha. Robert Vadra, the so-called Jijaji of the dynasty, said that, Pahalgam terror attack happened because Modi's weakened Indian Muslims. And then you have Siddaramaiah said, hua to hua. You have Charanjit Singh Channi, Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress, saying hua to hua. You have Tariq Hamid Karra.
There are two questions. There are two questions that come out of it. I want to go across to Selam Dhanidharan and Major Dhruv Katoch also. Selam Dhanidharan, simple question. Gaurav Gogoi can launch whatever attack he wants as far as the government is concerned. He goes further on to ask that the government's intention was not to start a war. As a defense minister, I ask why? Why was war not our intention? Now, this is a bit interesting coming in from Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, where at least two leaders of his own political party, Mr. Siddaramaiah and Tariq Karra, said that they are not in favor of war. So that is the standard of Congress and opposition parties. Now suddenly you come in the house and say that no, we want war. Why didn't you go for it? Selam Dhanidharan?
No, I can only speak of my party's opinion on matters. No, I can't speak to an individual MP who does not belong to my... Even an individual...
Sir, you are in alliance with the India Alliance, the last I remember.
But that doesn't mean even I can't speak anything that someone from my party speaks on an individual capacity, no? So having said
Sir, you are speaking in parliament, that is an individual capacity. They are participating in a debate on behalf of members of opposition or the particular parties.
See, I'll tell you my stance on the matter. My leader has already told that he is with the government of India as far as the Operation Sindoor is concerned. And our army officers have done a fantastic job. And we are proud of them. My party is proud of them. We thank them for the service that they have done for the country. And they continue to do so, which they continue to do so. But I have two questions. The first question is, when we were on the offensive, when we had all the advantage, why did we agree for a ceasefire? We should have gone ahead and got Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Trump has told so many times, 24 times, that he mediated a ceasefire. Why have we not said Trump? Why have we not gone ahead and said Trump is lying? Second question, after 2009, this is the biggest terrorist attack in this land. How did such a big intelligence failure take place? Shivraj Patil resigned after the 2009 Bombay terrorist attack. Why hasn't the Home Minister now taken any responsibility and resigned? This is the
okay, we're back to that same question.
Second major crisis after Manipur, right? So many train accidents. Has the Railway Minister resigned? No. So that is a problem.
Okay, Major Dhruv Katoch, one by one. You are mixing up many issues. Let's go one by one, please. Major Dhruv Katoch, again the question of 2008 and the comparison comes in. Is there a comparison to be made, a parallel to be drawn over here in terms of A, accountability, and B, in terms of intelligence failure, which is repeatedly being questioned by opposition political parties? Major Dhruv Katoch.
Thank you, Madhav. Madhav, before I get down to that comparison, it is quite disheartening actually to see even these debates taking place on television channels. On national security issues in all countries of the world, you take the United States, you take any of the European countries, you take China or anywhere else. On national security issues, the whole country is united. And here, I think for the security forces, especially for the armed forces, I don't think it's a very heartening sign to see a very large percentage of the politicians here going against the national interest and, trying to question everything which we are doing. Because this is a fight. It is a war which we are waging, and during that war, which is still ongoing, I think the country needs to be united. One. Number two, when we are talking about 2008, we didn't react. We mobilized, we lost a lot of people in the mobilization, we didn't react. And we didn't react, I haven't really understood, but I think there was some hesitancy because it was perceived as to how the world will perceive us. The difference now it really doesn't matter what the world says. India will do what it has to do to preserve its self-interest. I think that is the bottom line. And there are two things which have come out very clearly. One, Pakistan has been marginalized. Whether somebody supports Pakistan or doesn't support Pakistan is irrelevant. Pakistan is marginalized. Nobody thinks of Pakistan anymore. Number two, I think there is a great discomfort in the West, especially in the United States, that India doesn't need their permission to do anything. What we are doing it independently. If the Americans like it, good. If they don't like it, just too bad. India will follow its own interest. And I think that is why this consternation that India, which always used to look up to us and seek our advice, now says, Chami is good, just too bad. We don't want you. We will do what we have to do in our national interest. This is a fundamental shift. Anybody who is observing can see the shift. And most importantly, the foreigners are seeing the shift. I've had many dealings with various think tanks abroad of people who have come here. And everybody says the same thing. India is following an independent path, and that is creating tremors in the Western world. That is the next point.
All right, Tausif, I want Tausif to come in because there are 2-3 very important points you've just made. Tausif, respond to that. It's because India is creating an independent path that's creating tremors in the Western world, and this is something that even opposition should see. That's what the Major General is specifically referring to. You were shaking your head very vigorously. Why would you disagree with that?
No, I'm not disagreeing, but I have questions which we need to answer. I mean, how many countries, I repeat myself, how many countries, Madhav, has Pakistan have named and shamed after the Pahalgam terrorists? You tell me. Not a single nation.
I'll give you the statistics. 193 members of the United Nations. Listen to me. Tausif, you're asking the question. Listen to the facts. 193 members of the United Nations. Only 3, apart from Pakistan, opposed Operation Sindoor. What does that number tell you?
Where it is? Show us. They are making the head of the state for Pakistan.
They are public statements I'm referring to.
Who's this Pakistan? We have not been able to crush Pakistan when we are having an advantage to crush Pakistan. What we did, we are not learning from our past, Madhav. We are just not learning from our past. I mean, you tell me, after Pahalgam, have you forgotten 2019?
We have not been able to crush Pakistan. Sushant Sareen. All right, let Sushant come in on this. Sushant Sareen, we have not been able to crush Pakistan. That's the response of Tausif. Your response?
We've not been able to what Pakistan? Pressure Pakistan.
Crush them is apparently the word he used, if I remember correctly. Yes.
No, okay, that's a fact. That's a fact that we haven't managed to crush them. And frankly, that is because of the kind of political setup we have. When you have the daughter of a former home minister bat for Pakistan, you have the principal opposition party say things which actually the Pakistanis use, and the Pakistanis hope that that principal opposition party was to come into power, because then Pakistanis will get a free hand to do whatever they want to do in India as they were doing in the past. That is why you haven't been able to crush them. If all the political forces in India were to come on one page, I don't think crushing Pakistan is a big problem. Secondly, I think actions which started to be taken are precisely aimed at first deterring Pakistan, defeating
Pakistan. The government incompetency to crush the Pakistan, sir. It was government decision to do the ceasefire.
One by one. I'm coming to you. Coming to each of you, just one by one, please. Yes, Sushant.
Please allow me to say this. There was a time 20 years back that the Pakistanis would see the Congress party in power with trepidation. They would be fearful of the Congress party and what the Congress party will do to Pakistan. And they loved people like the Janata Party, the communists and the others, because they thought these were useful idiots who they could use to get whatever they wanted. Today the tables have turned. You read the Pakistani press, you watch the Pakistani television, you listen to the Pakistani politicians. They have placed their hopes on today's opposition to come into power and give the Pakistanis whatever they want. This is the ugly reality of Indian politics today. Somehow the Indian politician does not seem to understand the simple fact. But this is the reality. I watch Pakistan very closely. This is what is happening.
No. You are not reading properly.
One by one.
You are making fun of us that we did nothing to them. And how can you...
Problem is, none of us is asking the question to the government.
What did you do?
Accountable for everything.
What did you do after 2008?
We are no. Rahul Gandhi.
Sir, we did lot of COVID operations.
Rahul Gandhi is not protecting the
One by one. We can't have everyone. One second. Let's go. Ashwini, 1 second. Tausif, simple question is there's a difference of approach between 2008 and 2024. We responded without seeking anybody's permission. We have not kept it covert. We've told the whole world and we've struck as deep as Bahawalpur. This is what the government is repeatedly saying. Why is that not an appropriate response in your view, Tausif?
No, not at all. It is not appropriate. I mean, he's just senior to be sitting on a national debate and he's saying the opposition ne rok diya, opposition nahi kiya tha. So ye bhi Nehru ki galti hai. That today
Pakistan is using it. Are you aware, Tausif? That some of the clips from today's debate? Tausif, just hear me out. Tausif, calm down and hear me out. The point being made is that even today, some of the clips from today's parliamentary debate have made it to Pakistani headlines of the mainstream channels over there. It's being misused by them. Whether we like it or not, this is a reality.
Madhav, that is not our problem. We had all the advantages to crush Pakistan, to finish Pakistan, to remove Pakistan from the map. But we were failure. Why? Because Trump came in between and he said, oh, I have done everything and there is a trade deal and I will finish the war between Pakistan and India. Why you couldn't rectify those statements 3 months back, sir?
Why couldn't you not rectify the statements? Okay. Deepak Reddy. Let Deepak come in. Yeah, Sanju, just 1 second. Deepak, I want Deepak to respond to this. Deepak Reddy.
Madhav, let me come in here. If you look at the historic, what Congress has done, in all the wars when we had a clear advantage, they were pretty soft on Pakistan. And now you can see it was more of a Pakistan stand. In 1971, we had a clear-cut advantage, but nothing was taken out of it. So these are the people who indirectly put Pakistan in a comfortable position. And this time, if you see, when we are at an advantage, they start questioning about how many planes of ours are down, but they don't question as much of the losses of Pakistan. What is the mentality? I don't understand. And then what's painful? What's painful is they use a word called surrender, and our brave soldiers. They give their life for our country. And how the hell can you people...
No, what do you want, Ashwini?
I don't understand.
Ashwini...
I mean, you guys have nothing. I mean, you just sit on TV channels...
You know, why would you not want to know what the damage we've inflicted on Pakistan is, their air bases, their terror camps? Why would you not want to know that? Because... If Maulana Masood Azhar and his, family members were part of those who died in these attacks, why would we not want to know that? Because these are the very terrorists, over 100 terrorists the government says, who've been killed.
Madhav, we don't have any doubt on the capabilities of armed forces. We know when our armed forces strike very hard. So we don't have to really see how hard they have struck. Our biggest question is when armed forces is striking to the very heart of the Pakistan and suddenly you get a pressure from some third party and do the ceasefire.
So you put out statements like, do you agree with Praniti Shinde when she says tamasha?
Does this not demoralize
answer my question.
As well?
No, that is the point that you should be answering, because when you make statements like tamasha, is that going to encourage the armed forces? You agree with Praniti Shinde?
So understand...
Yes or no? You agree with Praniti Shinde?
Let me explain for 10 seconds. Understand the word tamasha. Our armed forces strike so well, but post Operation Sindoor, the kind of PR campaign has been happening. Modi ji with all that armed force dresses. We are talking about everything, but not the answer.
No, we should not have sent delegations abroad, according to you. What should have happened?
Done everything, but
why call it tamasha then? No. You agree with her? You're saying she is correct.
Madhav, allow me to speak. It cannot be yes or no. What
I'm saying, sir. I'm asking you to say yes or no, because do you agree or disagree? That's all I'm asking.
The way we have handled post Operation Sindoor has been pretty much a PR exercise of
no yes or no answer from
rather than
yes or no
accountable government response.
No yes or no. And this you're talking about demoralizing men in uniform. Let me bring in Major General Dhruv Katoch. Major General Dhruv Katoch, this is all a PR exercise, and it is the government that is demoralizing the men in uniform. What would you like to say to Mr. Mishra?
Yes, Madhav, I have to say this, these operations theoretically, because this is something which has to be understood, theoretically, if after we had destroyed the terror camps, the 9 terror camps, and we told the Pakistanis we are not doing anything more, if you keep quiet, we keep quiet. Now the Pakistanis retaliated, so we hit them, and after hitting them, we told them again. We gave them a warning, they retaliated, we hit them harder. And third time when we really destroyed them, it was the Pakistanis who came begging on their knees to say, please stop. They first approached the Americans and we told the Americans, push off, it's a bilateral issue, let the Pakistanis beg. Then the Pakistanis begged. It was a literally begging spree from the DGMO to say, please stop. And we said, okay, that was our initial aim. That is why we stopped. And I think, let us not get too enamored with what Trump says. Trump is making those statements because they are in deep trouble. The Americans, India is not listening to them. So he has to show the world, no, India is listening to us. The narrative has changed. If people don't understand the narrative has changed, they are not understanding the strategic dialogue which is taking place.
Okay.
They have totally misread the picture. The picture is very clear. India is standing on its own feet. India is doing what it is in its best national interest. And the Americans are unhappy.
All right.
They're trying to change the dialogue.
All right. The dynamics are changing internationally, and that's really the message going out. Sanju Verma, Deepak Reddy, Sushant Sareen, Major General Dhruv Katoch, Ashwini Kumar Mishra, Tawseefur Rahman, and Salem Dharnidharan, as well as T.S. Singh, who was joining us earlier. Thanks so much for joining us in this edition of the NewsHour Agenda.